Hi, I'm Jason with Burton Snowboards, and I'm here to talk to you about the 2021 Burton Men's Freestyle lineup. All right, for 2021, we got a really killer lineup of freestyle boards. So, what we're kind of considering freestyle, in this lineup is we're talking about true twin tips, which means that they're the same shape front and rear, same flex pattern front and rear. So you can ride them backwards the same as you can ride them forwards. You can ride, twin tips anywhere on the mountain, but they definitely do excel a little bit more in freestyle conditions like the park and, jumps and things like that. So just kind of jumping in, kind of going in price order, you got the Kilroy twin. Definitely a lot of value for this model here. It's a true twin tip. It is full camber. So again, camber is going to give you a lot more power, a lot more pop, better edge hold, better pop off jumps, locks onto rails and that sort of thing. But it is on a little softer end. It is still a biaxial glass layup, so really soft. It does have a centered base. A ton of value here, coming at $400. So obviously our Kilroy crew, they're definitely work with a lot of the artists and things like that, coming up with a little bit more forward graphics and things like that too. Wider extended sizing on this too. It does come down to a 135. So for the tweeners, or the female riders out there, actually, can jump on some of the smaller sizes in this board. So definitely a killer option there for a true twin. Then you go to the Descendant. Great graphics on it this year. Kind of one of my favorite graphics in the line. True twin tip again here, biaxial glass layup, but here you go to our pure pop bend. So not quite as edgy as like the Kilroy twin, but pure pop, just camber between the bindings, and then it starts to go flat. So what that does is you get that power and that spring through the middle of the board that the camber gives you, but when you're loading it, it does bring your contact points up off the snow a little bit. So it tracks straighter, makes the board a little bit more playful. Technically a hybrid, but a little bit more on the camber end of the spectrum as far as that goes. But again, centered base here. So what you're gonna see in a lot of these boards, because it's kind of a little bit more for the end user in mind, is that they all come with centered bases. Or above. So centered bases are harder, more resistant to damage, and definitely freestyle riders, park riders, they're really hard on boards. So, having something that's a little bit harder, more resistant to damage is a great advantage, in these boards. So, but centered, they're going to hold wax better, faster, better speed over jumps, half pipe, that sort of thing. So that's the Descendant. So then, pretty unique board in the line, the Name Dropper. So again, true twin here, definitely a lot of different technology going on with the Name Dropper. You do see it does have these little pads here. What that is it's a construction that we call Filet-O-Flex. So what it is we actually thin out the board all the way around where the mounting hardware is with the channel. So by having a much thinner overall core profile, this board is really super soft, really easy to press. It does have a Tri-X glass layup, so it's stiffer torsionally, so it actually still holds a really good edge. But longitudinally, this thing is really soft. So if you want to master those presses and, great rail board, but still it holds a decent edge. It's not just this floppy noodle, so it holds a good edge off jumps, that sort of thing. So definitely Filet-O-Flex is a killer way to go there. And you notice that they're actually set off at angles too. So they're set at 15 and negative 15. Most freestyle riders, most people ride a positive and a negative angle. So what that is we profile the core out, our squeeze box, to be at 15 and negative 15. So it matches up with the angles of the bindings a little bit better. And then all these pads are for is basically a spacer, because otherwise it would just teeter on top of that channel that's, it's kind of raised up there. So adds a lot of vibration dampening and things like that too. So again, a centered base, so it's gonna be more resistant to damage. So these boards are great. I mean, somebody that's really just beating them up on rails and boxes, that sort of thing, this thing's gonna hold up. These things, they basically bend, they don't break. So they're just, I shouldn't say never, but they're definitely a pretty unique construction here, and they definitely provide a lot of stuff for like $470. So, but pure pop again, just between the bindings, so it locks into rails, but mainly flat underneath the feet. So it tracks really straight, easy to press, all that sort of thing. So great board, a lot of stuff to talk about there. So then if you want to get a little bit more into, you know, something with a little bit more power, a little bit more precision, better kind of all-around park, I guess, you know, you kind of consider park has got different disciplines as you look at it. Like, are you doing boxes and rails, you know, or are you hitting big jumps, you know, half pipe, you know, that sort of thing, or are you doing it all? So that's kind of where, you know, the Paramount would come in. Kind of a team favorite here. So a little bit kind of more of a mid-wide as far as the waist width here, but it is a full cambered model with triaxial glass and carbon I-beam. So we're running carbon stringers tip to tail through the middle of the board, so that adds a lot of power, lightens the board up, but also, you know, adds a lot of you know, rigidity, you know, liveliness, you know, all the wonderful things that carbon does. A higher grade sintered base as well, so it does have more pores per square inch. It's also harder, more resistant to damage. So that's the Paramount. Kind of see that. A lot of guys that do all-around slope style on our team, you know, that's kind of one that they tend to gravitate towards. And then also the Freethinker. So this is Danny Davis's model. Like, he's got a couple models. This is the true twin. So this one is definitely a little bit more on the livelier side, lighter side of things, a little bit more performance driven. You know, great pop-off jumps, a little deeper side cut than what the Paramount's going to have, but you also step up to our carbon highlights, so similar construction that you're going to see on the custom model. Also has centered WFO base, so this board is super light, really poppy, you know, really you know, deep side cut, thing turns really well. Just, you know, one of my favorite all-around twins. So killer graphics on it this year. You know, Scott Leanhart, guy's done a ton of graphics for us in the past. I worked with Danny on this board, and the graphics are some of my favorite that we've ever done. So pretty killer there. So, you know, again, this is the 2021, you know, freestyle lineup. Again, within the all-around twin realm, you know, you got a lot of different uses. So definitely, you know, check those out.